Welcome to the DL. I am your host, Tyler Robertson. This is the podcast show where we talk about everything to do in the heavy duty industry. And today I am in I'm not even in Irvine. I'm in Grapevine. What city am I in? So I'm actually here with Steve. I'm here with Steve HOKE, who's been on the show before. Actually, you're all over LinkedIn. I see you all over the place, man. You're on podcasts. So I thought, you know what? Let's grab him off the floor. I'm like, Steve, 20 minutes in the podcast booth. Can you do it? He's like, I'm there. So welcome, sir.
Thank you. I always love doing stuff with diesel laptops, especially you. And technically, I was not on the floor. I was standing in a booth. Last night, I was on the floor after a long dinner.
Yesterday was a long one for me, too. I literally was up at 3 a.m. Eastern time. I had to catch an early flight and get here. And I was done by like 10:30. I was like, I'm out of here. It's a long day.
We plan ahead a little farther. We've been here since last Wednesday.
Woo!
Wayne and I flew in.
You've been here a week.
We flew into Houston, made sales calls, and drove up here to Grapevine to relax. And Wayne wanted to make sales calls 12 hours a day, so I didn't get to relax. And we've been here. Great show.
You got to make the best of it. You're gone. You're away from the family. You got the expenses. That's why I'm like, we're at our company. We're going to come here. We're going to pre-book a bunch of meetings. We're going to do a customer VIP event. We're going to do podcasts. We're going to do a vlog. Like, what more can we do to get the best bang of the buck? Because we're not doing 40 or 50 trade shows anymore. We're doing like 8 or 10 or something minimal. Is this your first one back, like after COVID, or have you done some other stuff?
We did Apex. It was not as fruitful as all of us in the industry expected. The travel rates were still way down. The location of where Apex had us, we're still grateful it was there. We love having in-meeting events. HDAW is our favorite and biggest show of the year as far as distributors around the country come here for a purpose. They don't want swag. They don't really care about stuff other than knowing what can you do for me? What can I buy? What can I put on my store shelves?
Yeah, so, this is business. People are here to like make new relationships and find new product lines and all that. So, I mean, I know you've been on the show. Like, what's been going on at Redline the last year and a half? I know COVID threw a wrench in everything, but how have things been going and anything new going on?
Actually, the last time we were with you in the podcast room, we were in beautiful Irmo, South Carolina in February of 2020.
We were joking about people wearing masks at the TMC show, like kind of.
Well, Casey, Steve Stratton, and myself just came back from India like 4 days before, and COVID hit over there, and Air Canada said, "Look, you got 4 days to get back, or we're taking your seats." So we came home, did TMC, and then traveled over to see you, which we love going to diesel laptops. For us, we've really been honing our DPF cleaning equipment. We've been honing our manufacturing for all the supply shortages. I've been making a lot of moves, spending a lot of money. My wife hopefully is not listening to this, or again, it'll be delayed where we've already paid for stuff. But we've had to increase inventories to keep up with supply and to keep our customers with product to sell.
Well, I mean, I got to ask supply chain, right? So, I mean, that's everyone's talking about it. There's conferences, talks, everything going on here. And I mean, I know OEMs are struggling even to build trucks. I can imagine OEMs are struggling even to make replacement parts. And obviously you're aftermarket and providing, DPF filters, your core business. How are OEMs doing? How are you guys doing? What's supply chain look like in your vein of the world?
The OEMs I can't speak for other than they can't just pick up a phone and buy from people. They're ISO certified. They have their own 700-page vendor approval. So they can't just say, hey, this guy has 10,000 of them in stock. I'll buy them from him. So for us, we've done okay. We've done great, actually. Redline brand did over double in sales what it did the year before, which Wayne and I are always very happy and trying to plan for the future.
Wait, so do Wayne take credit or do you take credit for that?
Wayne takes credit. I give Wayne credit for everything. Yeah. I'm like you. I'm not like you. I don't get out in the public eye as much, but I hide in an office and buy a lot of stuff. And then Laura's in the next office saying, no. And Casey's in the other office processing POs, so she doesn't see it. But no, actually, one of the things I want to talk to you, I haven't seen you in so long. I saw the new training facility in Dallas. I heard about Chicago, and then I just saw Atlanta. I'm so proud of you guys.
Yeah, well, I mean, thanks, man. I think, probably not the best time to go launch in-person training classes.
When do you care what happens, right?
I mean, to me, it's just, okay, COVID's a bad thing. A lot of people died. I'm not going to argue that. Yeah. But I look at it the 10-year, 20-year, it's a speed bump.
Yeah.
Right? Like, people eventually are going to go back to trade shows. People are eventually going to need more training. Like, for us, it's all about building the brand, doing these things. And I keep telling people at work, like, I got two decisions. we make money, I can either take it and go buy personal stuff, or I can keep investing in my own company, which has been working great for 7 years.
I know what your answer is because you drive a 2003 Camry that the sunroof leaks. I tell the story. I've seen it in your parking lot. I'm going to send you one of my vehicles to drive because
I got bad news for you.
You got rid of it?
Someone pulled out in front of me and I got wrecked. I was like, I was mad. Then the crazy thing is, so this is an old Camry, right? Mm-hmm. Someone pulls out in front of me, gets totaled. And literally the check they gave me was like only a couple grand less than I feel like when I bought it all those years ago. And then of course it's just a horrible time to buy something. And I literally go in Carvana and I'm like, my kids are getting older. I need to, pick up truck. I'm hauling stuff. I kind of moved up to the country-ish more. And literally I end up buying a year-old pickup truck that I paid more over sticker price when it was new.
You should call me next time you want a vehicle.
You could have hooked me up a little bit better.
I'll hook you up. Yeah.
I was like, I'm one of those people, I don't like to spend money on those things, but if I have to buy something, I'm like, well, I still bought a used one. I'm still not going to go buy a new one. I'm like, you know what? I'll drive this thing for the next 20 years. And that's what I have because I just need to get from point A to B. And there's better things I'd rather go spend my money on.
Yeah. Well, some of the advice we took from you early on in COVID, on refocusing on our core competency and expanding on e-commerce. I just tell this quick story. We let our internal team do stuff. We have a great graphics artists and marketing. Our website was absolutely beautiful. Our e-commerce site or our retail site, and not much in sales. And Casey said, look, let's have pros do it. And I'm like, that costs a lot of money. And he says, yeah, okay. Let's have pros do it. And I said, what's a budget? And he gave me a budget. And I'm like, that's a lot of money. And he says, Jesus, just give me 3 months. So our e-commerce site is up 485% on a 2 million run rate in 14 months. And we spend less now than we did before because people actually know what they're spending money on. And I'm like, what a smart kid.
So was it you got more traffic or the right traffic, or was it easier to buy and find things? Like what did you really do there? You peel back the layers.
Yeah. So we teamed up with a company called Elk Marketing. No plug there for them, but great people. And basically said, SEO matters. Yep.
Backlinks matter. I'm like, what's a backlink? How do I get backlinks? He says, you pay for them. You talk to your vendors. Yeah. There's ways to get those.
So they're the simple to them, the simple stuff. I mean, they saw us and they went, you're our dream, right? You've already done all your graphics. You've already done your stuff correctly. You actually have inventory in stock. Let us show you how to do this. And it's made. We go to our base now, as you do. We share with others. You've got to do this. If you want to be viable, if you want to be in business, if you want to grow your business, you've got to focus on different things. And
so here's what I'm seeing in our industry, and it's really infuriating and frustrating to me because what I'm seeing is everyone's saying we need to be in e-commerce, right? Mm-hmm. So you have all these people that sell parts saying, "Man, we need to have a website and we need to sell parts," and they're going to some website builder, and in some cases, their buying group even recommended them someone, and they're just popping up on the website and pre-populating all their part numbers. And they're like, oh, you got an e-commerce site. Mm-hmm. And I'm sitting there thinking, you know what? I run an e-commerce site. Mm-hmm. You run an e-commerce site. So you build it does not mean they will come.
No.
And not only that, but you got to make sure you rank when people go online and search.
I've learned more this last year about domain authority.
Yep.
Page domain authority.
Yep.
And knock on wood, in 2021, we probably sold more knock sensors than anybody in the country, and I can back that up. And we ranked 14, and I'm like, I sell more than anybody. I have more inventory than anybody. We didn't have the SEO right. We didn't have backlinks right. So we've corrected that. Now we're number one in knock sensors.
So here's the joke that we tell people all the time, mm-hmm. like in the market. We always say, you want to know where the best place is to hide a dead body?
Internet.
Page 2 of Google. Nobody goes there. Right? Yeah. Nobody goes to page 2. Yeah. The fact is, you need to be. Here's a stat for people listening to this. When you run paid ads on Google, you're on top. Mm-hmm. If you get 2% of the views to click your link, you are doing extremely well, mm-hmm. and you're paying for that traffic. Mm-hmm. And by the way, that 2% that clicks to you, usually 70% bounce mm-hmm. with one page view, and they're gone. So I mean, you're whittling down that ad spend quick to go get a sale. That's e-commerce in a nutshell for people that don't understand how it works. Mm-hmm. The number one organic rating on Google has a 34% click through. Yeah. And guess what? That one was free. And guess what? To a degree, right? I didn't pay Google directly to get that click. And by the way, the bounce rate on an organic link, at least for diesel laptops, is less than half of what it is for a paid listing, right? It's great traffic.
Yeah.
So I think what I see, and correct me and tell me if you feel different, but I think all these retailers that are building e-commerce sites, they don't have a freaking clue what they're doing with e-commerce sites.
Above my pay grade. Casey could probably talk more on it. I just know that from watching the results of what we do for backlinking and for writing our blog posts, where we actually tell people about a product or about something and not just write knock sensor, knock sensor, knock sensor, knock sensor, knock sensor, actually have content. It has done more for us than every $10,000 check we write to Google. So yeah, it's amazing.
It truly is. Have you guys got much into the email marketing of that and trying to drive traffic through emails and collect email addresses and that thing?
Yeah. We use Clavio. We use, I'm saying all these big words. I hear them in our meetings.
You've grown.
Clavio,
you've grown. Wow.
We use Clickly. We use Feedonomics, which is incredible. It's amazing, the people that write this stuff. But
here's the interesting thing. It's not enough. Like, you're the business owner, right? Mm-hmm. It's not enough that you write the check and you're like, but you're actually learning and understand what these things are. And I think anyone has to if they're going to go get into the e-commerce game.
Absolutely. I mean, a good way to lose $1 million is start with $2 million if you don't understand what it is. And a lot of marketing companies, from what I see, just say, I want a monthly stipend and, we'll always guarantee you stuff up. But when the people that we went with have to, basically, they prove to us every week what the changes, and hey, if it didn't work, we're going to make different changes. So we've made an investment, not just in writing them a check, but we've made the investment in understanding and making changes when they tell us, hey, you need to make a change.
And why, and what do these acronyms mean, and what metric? It's like any business. You run shops too. You know, like productivity, efficiency, cost of good, margins. It's the same thing with digital marketing. You have to understand the metrics and know what these things mean and what drives things.
They can make you or break you. I mean,
I remember one time when, we were learning and you look and we're like, man, where do we spend all that money on Google ads? And it was Google shopping ads. And we come to find out we spent something like, I don't know, it was like $60,000 on a Google shopping for a product that we had zero sales on. And it wasn't even our core product. It was like an ancillary thing we happened to put on the website. And it had the word, I can't remember what common word it had in there, but it would pop on like everyone's Google shop. We're like, what? Can I get my money back?
We had that. We had an employee that clicked the wrong budget box on Google, and we had a bill for like $16,000.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, but
there's no do-overs.
But that was an accident. They're like, doesn't matter.
So no, it's expensive lessons. And I hope there's more business owners at this conference and in our industry that are learning what I've learned, what you've learned. And it's a great world of e-commerce, because once you get it clicking, and you realize you have a 24/7 marketplace, and then where we're at as a company, like, well, man, we get a lot of traffic to our website. I don't know what the number is, 500,000 a year. What if just 1% more of those people engage with our sales team? That's 5,000 leads.
The difference from yours, which we might move to one day, is your main website with all your information and all your great stuff is also your e-commerce site. Our e-commerce, because we have different brands, our e-commerce site is its own bundled retail to the end user, where our brand websites are no pricing for information and data. So it's kind of weird how much money we spend on all these different. It'd be nice to combine them, but in our situation, it doesn't work that way.
Hey, we ended up having to make 4 different websites: one for parts, one for repair, one for training, and one for diesel laptops. Right, that was the best solution. So.
One of the things I came down for this, and we had a NARSA board meeting, NARSA and IDEA, National Automotive Radiator Association and International Diesel Emission Association. We're trying to teach people radiator side. They have that taken care of. They brought me in and a couple other people to help on the after treatment side. At Apex, I want to talk to you. I should talk to you off the microphone, but we've basically been giving space and time if we would like to do some after treatment training, some condensed classes for Apex for people walking the floor. And I thought that'd be something be great to do.
Yeah, man. I love doing stuff like that. I mean, I think we're both in the same boat. We're just trying to help people. Right. And we're trying to help them get their trucks back on the road quicker. We're trying to help them, in your case especially, stay legal. Right. There's a lot that goes on in the emissions world with deletes and tunes, and there's a lot of things happening there in that space.
It seems like the tide has changed a little bit on deletes. I think when people now have to trade in their vehicle and their people won't take their vehicles, I think that's starting to change a little bit on the delete side.
So we've been talking to someone that works with the EPA.
Someone.
I shouldn't say names, but you know they and the EPA's been on the calls, and we've seen some presentations. You know, when they go to auction sites, up to 40% of the trucks at the auction are deleted emissions.
Yeah.
Right. And I can tell you this, I can tell everyone listening, the EPA wants to catch you. They're just looking for an easy, effective way to do it. And if they're talking to companies like me, they're talking to other companies out there as well and doing all those things. So it'll be interesting to see how things keep moving and turning and going here. We know one thing for sure. Technology can make an impact in your business. And I think you just described that with figuring out, man, we can make some money on this e-commerce thing if we put a little attention and focus on it.
Well, we have such great deals. It's like, how do they know we have them? I mean, that's the cool thing about e-commerce, right?
Yep. So any big initiatives this year? Any big things going on that are coming up or being planned for at this current time? Or is it kind of just, hey, let's keep fine tuning and keep getting through and keep building this thing?
Yeah, we've focused on more manufacturing on the DPF cleaning machines. We've been sending more machines overseas.
Wait, did I just see something about like India or something with the cleaning machine? I thought I saw something somewhere about that overseas or something.
We have machines going to Singapore now. I can't tell you who to, but a large engine manufacturer.
Okay.
Same thing. Their engines have to have DPFs and they have to have a way to clean them. So our new Aqueous package has been very well received around the world, and we're just perfecting and dealing with that. But,
I mean, those are big things. International commerce, trade. Yeah, there's a lot going on there.
I have been surfing the web, though, looking at condos and houses in North Carolina. Just focusing on selling cleaning machines more around the world and helping other countries that haven't had the time to market that we've had and the experience that we've learned or the things we've learned. I'm also, my wife and I are getting ready to start taking more time off and traveling, and I've been sitting on the website looking at houses on golf courses in North Carolina.
Yeah. Oh, man, we'd love to have you on the East Coast here, man. I must say, South Carolina's not too bad. More than welcome to come over here. So we'll see if we get you over here. But hey, man, it's been great to see you in person again. I know it's been a long time. It's great that events are starting to happen again and things are going on, and eventually the world gets back to the way it was.
Yep.
So
we're doing a diesel laptop after treatment class and Texa class, I believe March 10th and 11th on your website for on the West Coast or in Redding, California. But yeah, we're excited.
Awesome. Well, thanks for coming on, Steve. Hey, by the way, we got to tell, what's the website? When we were talking about it, we never gave him the website address. What is the website?
www.dpfpartsdirect.com.
I love it, man. Well, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna make sure we get you a link back to, since now you know now how important those are, especially from high domain authorities that give you those things in your industry. So if people don't know what I'm talking about, man, you gotta learn digital marketing. If you're running a website, you own a company, you need to know the basics. So let's just say this again: it's not just diagnostics; it's diagnostics done right.
Right.
Starts with diesel emission products. It starts with filters, cleaning equipment, and you got to learn your digital strategy. And I know another big person that can help with that is Jamie Irvine. I know he does a lot with that in our industry as well. We miss Jamie. Jamie, where are you? We'll catch him on the next one. So with that said, like, comment, subscribe, share. We love all that stuff. We will catch you on the next one. Thank you for watching and listening.
Thank you.